Recording in progress. Okay, cool. I'll do this Fathom thing. Why not? All right, cool. All right, let me share my screen. So, where we left off yesterday was interesting, and this happened. So, if you recall, we were testing the bot, and it stopped working. And I'm like, what's up? And the reason is because our free bot ran out of credit. So, if you are on the free trial CloseBot account, you may have run out of credits by now. If you have, um, yeah, you can buy more credits if you want through this account, or you can upgrade your account via this buy account button. I'm not going to do that. So what I did last night is I switched it over to my unlimited account. I also did another thing. Since I set up Agent Chatter on a new GoHighLevel instance for this course, which I didn't really need, I also switched that last night to my personal unlimited GoHighLevel account. So as we're moving forward from today on, just so you all know, I'm using my unlimited accounts for both CloseBot and GoHighLevel. So I don't know if you have all the features that you're going to see, but you might. Okay. So I also realized I made a snapshot of this account and I loaded it into my unlimited account and realized that all these custom values that you just saw come through blank. So I had to put back in the text on the website. Okay. So just be aware that there's no longer custom variables. If you want to edit the website, which I'm going to share with you today, you're going to have to open up the website editor here in GoHighLevel. Okay. So now let's continue with where we left off yesterday and see where we're at with this website. So we need to do a few things, I know. So again, to recap, this website's a simple one-pager website that allows them to schedule a call with you on a calendar that we created. Okay. And pretty basic GoHighLevel stuff there with the calendaring. That's what makes GoHighLevel so awesome. And then the schedule a call button, all this does is go down to the calendar. But there's also this live demo button up here. And the live demo button is a lead magnet opt-in form. And what it means is if they want to see your free demo, your live demo, you got to get their name and email. We're going to do that. Just the first name. You can add more if you want. There's a form that I created, which I'll also share with you. Okay. And I'll enter my email. Whatever. So once they click on the free demo, it should take us to this page. Very simple page. It's just a page to start the demo. But you've got their lead, which is amazing. That's the main thing is you want to build your own email list. So this will allow you to do that. That's really annoying. So this allows you to test two different bots that we're going to create. One is a listing bot, one is a buying bot. And just so you recall, we are using our real estate agent as an example. Okay. I'll show you this. So we're using this person as an example. And we talked about how they have listings on their realtor.com website, which they get for free. So if you're in the real estate niche, realize that realtors, successful realtors, this guy does millions of dollars a year in business, they may not even have a paid web hosting service at all, not even anything simple. And a lot of them are okay with that, but they are starting to realize that there's more competition out there. They're going to be losing some commissions. If you guys follow real estate, they're going to be making slightly less money. So they're going to need to do more marketing, which is good for us. So what we're doing is, Keith, yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Just real quick, is there an advantage to just getting the email and not also the cell phone so they can test it through SMS?
You can. Good question. So why aren't we getting the SMS number? For two reasons. One, well, mainly one reason. I don't have A2P connected with this account, but I will add that to the form, Keith. So we'll do that in a second. So good comment. If you're doing an opt-in form, get as much as you can. A phone, we can make it optional so they don't have to enter it. And we're not going to be contacting them directly with text messaging in this demo, in this course, just because I don't want to do A2P approval. But I will show you another sub account with CloseBot that is connected to SMS, and it looks very similar to the website we're creating. So that's how I'll explain a more advanced demo. So yeah. So this is this guy here and his wife. They're a team. They're selling a house like this. And this is what most websites, Zillow, all of them, they kind of look like this. This is standard information that comes from a database online. So I duplicated this and I created a listing page. It looks like this. And I'll give this to you. Okay. So all this is a property. And when you click on it, I'm using this for a demo to get business. This doesn't actually work. The buying bot, which I'll show you in a sec, does work. But I wanted to make it clear that, if you saw that, if you joined us in the first week, we talked about some real estate offers. This kind of goes with that, where you'd give them maybe 5 listings a month with the package of $3,000 a month. Again, rewatch those days the first week where we talked about that. But this is an example of one listing, right? So all I did, and I made this page myself, and I would maybe charge a setup fee, $99 per page. Not that big a deal. And it took me less than an hour to do. You could also VA this kind of thing out. And this is just an example of an offer. This wouldn't work for every niche, every industry whatsoever. Okay. So I copied this information from here. It's all right here. And this is something that anyone could do. So it's easy to make listing pages for realtors. Okay. And this page to showcase as a cool demo, I could have gotten a number, but so imagine the number would trigger a conversation with the buyer about this home to try to schedule an appointment with Les and Angela. Okay. And then there's no links on here whatsoever. They can't leave this page. He doesn't have a home page, so I'm not going to talk about how you get to these listing pages in this challenge, but it would be from his home page. If he doesn't have a home page, you may want to build him one. He'll need a domain, obviously. That's a whole other upsell that you can do. I'm not going to talk about that in the challenge, but that's a standard GoHighLevel SaaS play where they're paying you monthly to use your GoHighLevel account. You're going to add CloseBot. They're going to get a website. They're going to get all these cool things, right? But what I did do for each page, each listing, I said, what if there was a contact form? So this is a more robust contact form where I'm getting their name, email, and phone. They agree to terms and conditions, so it's legal. And then when they hit submit, it would again start the conversation with them to try to schedule an appointment with Les and Angela or whoever the realtors are, right? Okay, so that's a listing bot. I didn't make a listing bot, but we are going to do that. All right. And then the other bot that this is connected to is this. We're going to make this for Agent Chatter. We already started with this for the site we're doing. Okay. And we're going to change the names up because I don't want to use real names. Okay. So this is the buying bot, which is the other half of the offer, in my opinion. If you're doing real estate, because realtors always want to find homes to list. I know there's a commission change, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect the industry, but I know there was a request. I want to be able to target certain zip codes, maybe buy email list. This isn't about how to get the traffic in necessarily, but this buying bot is on his Facebook page. I created this Facebook page. You didn't have this either. So this is also something you can provide with your SaaS service when they buy your bot. So if you message this, and I'm going to start over. So I'm going to go into their account real quick. Actually, I'm not going to do that because we're going to rebuild this. Okay. But all this does is when someone comes in, it just tries to ask if they want to sell their home. Okay. So we're going to set all this up now. All right, cool. Any questions? All right, let's keep going. All right. So this is where the fun stuff is. All right. So we have our Facebook page. I've got my CloseBot Agent Chatter default. I moved from my unpaid CloseBot to my paid CloseBot. So all I need to do now is just make sure that these kind of match. Very simple. This is how you would move a bot from account to account, by the way. There's no other way to do it than how I'm showing you right now. So I have 2 windows going here. I'm going to close this up. Okay. So this is my free account. This is my paid account. This bot is not named. I don't need to. I'm going to hit modify bot on both. This is the default. I just imported to make the new bot. I just did a real estate bot, which is kind of how we started here. So all I'm doing is I just got to copy some of this over. And I think I did most of this last night. Charlie. Yep. So I've got everything connected. I've already connected it. This is not a class on how to connect. We've already done that. If I go to my main, just make sure these match and they don't match. I know that. Okay, cool. So I want to copy this over here. I want to copy this over here. And just to make sure everything is right, I want to copy this over here. Cool. And then I want to do approachable and caring because I did like that. I'm professional. Sound says dude all the time, which is nice, but not for this. We're not going to save that. Now let's just make sure our objectives line up. And I'll need to do some knowledge article transferring. Okay, so this is the bot we need to match this up. So again, I'm going to add a name. All I got to do, select it from the pull-down menu. It'll pre-populate for me. I'm going to move some of this over. I need to get the phone. Again, it's already in here. Let's do phone. Close that up. I need to do, okay, so now we're at timeline and motivation, and I didn't really tweak anything from the built-in bot. Interest, and then email and booking. So I got to do an email here. This is in the pull down, comes with GoHighLevel. Close that up. So now I just want to match these up. So I'm going to open up this one. And I got to open up this one. This is not connected to a calendar. So to connect to a calendar, all this booking, I'm going to change this to calendar. And I need the calendar ID. So again, what you do is all you got to do is go to your calendar settings. We only have one calendar in here right now for our discovery call. So I'm going to go and I get my permalink. So what you want is this permalink here. So you copy that. I just kind of paste it into a new window really quick. And then all you want to do is grab these last few digits here after the last trailing slash. Okay. And then I'm going to paste this into CloseBot. And it goes green. Awesome. So that means that we are good to go there. All right. So this bot, when I save it, will be mostly lined up with my free bot. I do need to, there's no knowledge. Oh yeah, we had no knowledge articles in here. So that's cool. So I don't have to worry about that. But I do have knowledge articles on my paid account. For instance, I have I scraped the website that we were looking at for the realtors because, it was free information. So that's really the only training I did. And then I also did some training on general realty questions, right? And we can look at that. I'm not going to turn that on for agent chatter. I'm just telling you what I did previously, and we'll probably make a new one. Okay. All right, cool. So now everything seems to be aligned. Finally, let's just make sure that, because I'm going to cancel all this tonight, all this stuff, because I don't want to pay for it. Let's just make sure that our Facebook page is connected properly in here, not in my free account. Okay. So to connect the Facebook page, all I got to do is go to settings, integrations, and it should be connected. Yep. So I connected already. It's connected agent chatter. So now when I talk to this last night, it stopped working because I didn't have any credits left. Now I have plenty of credits. Let's see if I say hi. I'm pretty confident it'll work. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So now I can cancel. I'm going to cancel out of these accounts. We're going to be done with this browser window. Okay, cool. All right. Nice. Where's my picture? No, I made a picture. Well, let's fix that. It's going to make me nuts. All right. I'm going to switch into agent chatter. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Okay. Facebook's acting strange today. Oop, wrong one. Oop, I want to be me. Sorry. All right, cool. All right. So we'll be done with agent chatter. Let's see. I want to go to agent chatter. All right, agent chatter. Great. Okay, now where were we? We were at our demo, and here we are at the listing bot demo and the buying bot demo. Yesterday, we also talked about, I got to get rid of this pop-up. I'll do that. We also talked about doing the short link with this m.me/ and then the number of the page. In order to be able to do this, which is when I click on this buying bot demo, it's going to go right into Messenger, right to agent chatter. So that's really cool. So it allows them to try your bot right away. I will tell you that some people may not have Facebook or get confused, which is why you also may want to do SMS, and I will show you how to do that. But this is one of the better free ways to try your demo out and get their email. You can also theoretically on this page have just brought up maybe the live chat widget, and they could test it in the live chat. That will be another way to do this. I'm not going to do it that way though. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. All right, so now we're going to make these two bots. Actually, we're going to fix this page up. So we want to get rid of that. And we have quite a few things to do actually. All right, so let's go to our website editor. One pager. And again, I'll make a snapshot of this today and send it to you guys. Here's our demo page. I'm going to edit that page. Okay, so I want to turn off the pop-up. Let me get rid of this. And I want to turn off the pop-up. So I'm going to disable the pop-up. Okay, cool. I'm going to save this. Close this, save this. Publish that. Okay, now that's gone. Awesome. So let's keep going. All right, so let's do our buying bot demo, because the buying bot demo, the way this works is it connects right to the Facebook page. Okay, so the chat. So you saw how when they click on that link here, the Messenger app actually opens up, and it works really nice on cell phones. On your on your mobile phone. These demos are great on mobile phones. All right, so we're going to continue. So the person is going to click on buying bot demo. They're going to come up to this chat, right? And here's how it's working here. You can see this on here. Hey there, before we move forward, may I have your full name for the records? Sure, Josh. Watch what happens if we give it just my first name. Since the CloseBot objective says ideally first and last, it's going to try to get the last name, which is good, more professional. Okay, sure, Rosenfeld. So I'm pretty confident this bot's going to work. Okay. All right. Phone number, sure. And then, okay, so now while that's going, because I know confident the buying bot's going to work based off of this, um, these objectives, because I've tried it out before and it works pretty well. Most realtors are pretty impressed with just this workflow. When you talk to them in person and build out their bot, definitely ask them what's your sales process, and just to make sure that this jives with how they buy homes or are willing to do cold outreach to buy homes. All right, got it. Thanks. So here's the message. When do you want to sell your house? Right away. And I'm not looking for like super motivated buyers in any way and GoHighLevel to then further tag them, but you could. All right, so let's move on. So I've got my buying bot. Now we need to make this listing bot, which I don't have yet. So we're making our listing bot again that looks like this. So I need to get this website over to Agent Chatter so you guys have it. So let's do that. So this is coming. Oops, darn it. Don't want to do that. So this is coming from here. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go here. I'll grab this for us. And I will, let's see here. What's this? Oh yeah, so this I found some, this is, I think, the built-in, I'll give you both of these. I think it's like the built-in template. So I want to get this listings. So here's the listings page, and it looks like this single listing that's just a link, and then this Sly Fox Lane example, which I showed you. So let's grab that. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to share it, and I'll copy the link. Say done, and then I just paste the link. There might be a different way to move websites around an account, but this works. I'm going to add the funnel. I want to add it to Agent Chatter. And I'll make a snapshot of this at the end of this class today. Okay, cool. So now an Agent Chatter is loading this up. I also want to go back and load up that other website because it's pretty cool. You can use it to make a demo site for your clients, maybe, because a lot of them don't have a real website. Okay, so I want to copy out this one. Grab the link. Paste. Put this into Agent Chatter. So now you'll have 3 different websites to play with. Everyone loves snapshots. All right, so here's Agent Chatter. Let's change the name of this real quick. We'll call it listings demo. Listing spot. Save that. I select my domain, Agent Chatter. I also did that yesterday. Cool. And then I'll connect Agent Chatter. Agent Chatter is connected to a page. So here's this one. I'm going to change. We're going to edit this page too. So it's not, so it just says something different on here real quick. All right, let's look at the settings for this. So listing, let's call this listing bot. Save that. Then let's just make sure that my root domain, I want my root domain for Agent Chatter. Well, no, Agent Chatter, the root domain is a one pager. So for this listings bot, let's do this. So this will be cool. So let's make a subdomain real quick that points to that demo. So we'll do domains, and this will be easy. So I'm going to add a subdomain. Let's call it listings.agentchatter.net. I hit continue. Now, since we did Cloudflare, I think in the first or second week of the class, since we did in the second week of the class, since we did Cloudflare, it's going to automatically hook up. So this is nice. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to point this new subdomain. I'm going to have it use the homepage for the listings bot. You don't have to do this step. There was a problem. Attached domain failed. Try again. If it doesn't work, we'll move on. All right, cool. So listingsagentchatter.net. I want this. You hit edit. I want the default page for this to be the listings page. Okay. So now if we go to listings.agentchatter, you'd see this. Error. CNAME cross user banned. I don't really know what that means. All right, we're going to move on. All right. So let's do this. So we've got our listing bot. So let's do this. So this listing bot button needs to be connected to that listings page. So I'm going to go to my agent chatter in my funnels under sites. I want to click on the one pager here, and we're going to the demo page. I'm going to edit the demo page. And I want to get this, let's see. So we can also do it this way. Let's just get the listings bot homepage link. Listing bot. Okay, cool. So over here, I want to have this listing bot demo button here. I want it to be website URL. And I just want to do HTTPS agentchatter.net / listing bot. Awesome. And I'll open in a new tab. All right, let's save this. Let's just double check this buying bot button here and make sure it opens up in a new tab. Open that in a new tab. Okay, save that. All right, let's publish this. So now, after someone's asked to look at your demo, they click on live demo. They do the opt-in form. If you need to get them there manually, if you want to send out this link manually, let's make this easy. So this demo page, you just send them to this link and it's the same thing. They don't have to do the opt-in. So now let's do the listing bot demo. Cool. Up comes this. So and we'll click on that. Should go to the next page. Nope, didn't. Okay, so I just got to keep tweaking. All right, so now let's go back to our listing bot. So the buying bot demo, for all practical purposes, done. The listing bot demo. That's what we're doing now. So I want this. Let's edit this in a new tab so we can do both at once. So I'm going to edit, open up this page and this page. Okay, let's just make sure that this is clicking. So this second page here, the link, let's just get the URL. Now in the URL here, I have the address. I think that's probably a good way to store individual listings, especially for the client. So if they do any advertising, it just helps with SEO and also for for you to be able to just know which page is which, because there could be you can have a ton of listing pages theoretically. All right, so I want to grab that. I want to click this button here or click this image here. I'm just going to change the website here. And I'm going to keep it in the same tab because it's, the same experience here. What I am going to do is, no, I can keep it at that. Who cares? It's a real listing, but who cares? All right, I'm going to publish that. Now, now it should do, now this should work. Oop, there we go. Okay, so here's our listing page. So now we're going to go through and edit this really quickly so I can give it to you guys. And then I'll also add in the form. Let's see here. All right, so let's edit this page, which is here. Nope, edit this page. All right, I'm just going to change some names up here. You can keep all the pictures, I don't care. All right, let's change that to Sam and Sally Smith. I don't care. And then they're with Smith Bros and Co. Real Estate. I just Smith and Co. Real Estate, whatever. Let's change the tagline here. Call the Smiths. Yay. This number is not real. So just please know that if this number doesn't work. Now, if you want to get some A2P approved numbers for a demo, then you could make this work. There's also a couple ways to do this. You could theoretically have a different number for each listing, which I prefer, or you could have one number and then in the conversation, it would then have to ask, it would have to kind of route it to the appropriate listing. So we're not going to get into that because I like single number per listing things. It's a little harder to set up, but it's easier to track. All right, so I'll keep all this here. All we got to do now is the form. This is the standard real estate listing, and you could duplicate this format. You could even use this page again and again for your own listings. Honestly, it looks fine. This picture here I got from the realtor.com website. So that's where I got that picture, and I just pasted it in. You also could have pasted in a slideshow theoretically if you wanted. If you want to make it really cool, because a lot of agents love pictures. So you can put in a slideshow widget and GoHighLevel. I didn't do that here. I'm going to save this. I'm going to make sure that this is here. Okay, so I have the title is the address. Okay, so make sure those match when you do these for different listings. The description is also the address. I don't know if that's the best way to do it per listing. You could look at how Zillow has their meta tags maybe. And then the author here is empty, so you can put your name in there or your client's name in there. I'll update that. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna publish this. All right, so now we just got to make the form and then we got to make the bot because there is no bot attached to this. So that's what we're going to do after we make this form. Okay, so let's go back and make a form. And I want to duplicate a form. So I'm going to move this window over here and I'll move this window over here. And I want to, okay, so I want to go to Forms, Builder, because I'm going to build a new form. And then I'm grabbing this form from, where did I get this from? Oh yeah, from this account. So I'll go to Forms. So let's open up this form and duplicate it real quick. So we already made a lead magnet form in Agent Chatter. I want to do this. It looks nice too. So let's add a form. And we'll call it listing form. And first name. So I want to add some text at the top. So I open the plus thing. I want to grab a text block, which is down here. I put in here, close this up. And the text is interested in this property. I got to change the font and stuff so it looks nicer. Let us know. Okay. So let's see. This font is Roboto 24. and it's an 800 weight, right? So nice and thick. Awesome. And then these, I don't think I did anything. These are just your standard text fields here. So the button, I changed, well, I want to make this link color, let's make the link color blue. And then we'll make the button black. It looks cool. And let's change this, submit. I don't know why I always use little finger things here, but I do. So that way, if I know if people copy it, it's mine. All right, save that form. Cool. All right, I'm going to go back. So I want to keep editing this page here. So I'm going to refresh this page real quick because I added a new form and I want it to show up. Okay, so the form for this listing page happens when you click contact us. And I'm also going to make it open up here. Now, this brings up the call link. So this actually will call if you link, probably with FaceTime if they're on the web, but if they're on their phone, it makes a call, which is cool. So what I want to do is in this pop-up, all I got to do is switch this form. So when I share this with a snapshot, you guys will get this too. We're doing the listing form. Okay. Save. Publish that. Let's just double check this form. So yes, I like to turn on when they click outside of it, close. And I do like on exit for this because I really want to get their contact information. Okay. I'm going to publish that. Okay. Let's close that. Go back. Oh, before we do, I always like to do this. Click mobile mode. See, that looks terrible. So let's fix this up. Let's fix this for mobile really quickly. And the way you do it is this. I need to have a couple different versions of the buttons and the titles, right? So I prefer one button maybe. Yeah, this needs to look slightly different. So let's do this. So I'm in the mobile view. I'm going to go to advanced. I'm going to use the advanced tab for a few things here, okay? So I'm going to duplicate this item here, duplicate it. And for this one, I'm going to turn off mobile. So that's only what it looks like on so you only see it on desktop. This one, I'm going to turn off desktop. So this is what you only see on mobile. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do fill width. So I'm going to change this button for fill width. And I'm also going to I'm going to change up this title here to make it a little smaller. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to do the same thing. This version here, I'm going to turn off on mobile. And this version here, I'm going to turn off on desktop. But this is the one we see in mobile. So I'm going to edit the text just a touch. Not too much. We'll do like 18. And obviously you could have much longer addresses than this, but I'm just showing you technique. And also I want to do the same thing here. I don't like the button showing up down here, so let's do this. I'm going to only show this button on, we'll make a different button. So this is the button that you're going to see on mobile. I'll duplicate it. So on desktop, you're going to see this button. So I go to advanced, turn off mobile. So I want to do a new button here, but it looks goofy like this. So I'm going to change the button to be, well, let's do this. I'm going to add, so in here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make let's make a new little widget here. I'm going to do paragraph. And I'm going to hide this I'm going to change this. Interested? Call 703-220-2278 now. And then so on this one, I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't want that there. And then on this here, I only want it to show up on mobile. So I'm going to turn it off on desktop. And then I'm also going to, I am going to move it up. I want to move this right underneath that. I'm going to add some padding to it. And I will also going to move this up. And then whatever. Okay, I'm going to add some bottom padding. This isn't gorgeous, but you get it. Add some bottom padding. And then I'm going to also link this to make it dial. So I think you do it like this. Call. Yeah, it's like a mail to thing. It will call if there's a I got to do +1. 703. This obviously is not going to work, but at least it's set up right. You do get a real number. All right, I saved that. Blue's fine. I'm going to hide this third column on mobile because it's adding some padding I don't want. And then I'm also going to hide this one on mobile. Adding too much padding. Okay, that's fine. Now if I go to desktop, yep, looks good, looks better. So it looks better, not perfect, but it definitely looks better. You could theoretically also duplicate this. So watch, I'll also do this because this is going to make me crazy. So this one I want to show up on desktop. And this one here, which is on mobile only, I want to get rid of all this crazy padding. Okay. That's slightly better. Okay, cool. So here's this. Looks okay. So, oh, here's a little thing we need to tweak here. So these need to be centered. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to copy this whole chunk. I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to hide. So this one, I'm going to hide on mobile. Yeah, no, this one I'll hide on the desktop. And then this one, I'm going to hide on mobile. So this will disappear. Okay. So now we just need to center these. No problem. Center. And then I'll make this centered. Awesome. Oh, got to do it twice. Making mobile look nice is really important. So I'm going to turn off one for desktop, and I'll turn off one for mobile. Cool. So now this one here, I just got to center it real quick. No problem. Cool. And hopefully when I go back to desktop, I didn't ruin anything. You might want to make a copy, but I didn't. So that looks right. That looks great. Awesome. So I'm going to save this. All right, now let's publish this, and we're going to move on. I think that this making this website and all the demos and stuff, that's probably just going to take us through the week. I'm just thinking out loud to you guys right now, but I think if you're curious as to when this is going to end, it's not going to end today. Okay, so now I have a web page that's slightly different looking. Cool. Call the Smiths. Awesome. Yeah, it looks great on mobile. And there's my form. Okay, cool. So now all I need to do is I need to handle the form. I don't have any form handling here, I don't think. Yeah, there's no form handling here. Okay, so now we need to start building our pipeline for the leads. We need to do our let me take a note of that. So now we're going to be doing, so we're on day 3. We're going to be doing lead form, opt-in, pipeline. So I want to do that. So when someone does your opt-in form, I want it to show up in a pipeline. And then we'll do we got to do listing form handling. That's we're going to do that today. And let's see how far we can get with those two things. Okay. Okay. So now we have this here and we want to make our form work. Oh, this is opening FaceTime, which is fine. We want to make our form work. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to automations on agent chatter. I'm going to make a new workflow. Hey, look at this. I have 2 CloseBot installs. That's fun. Which one's it using? Huh. What do you know? That could be a problem. Well, I'll do this later. Okay. So I want to make a new workflow from scratch. We're going to actually, we'll do the opt-in lead form opt-in first because it's easy. So we'll do this. And this is the lead and opt-in form for your agent chatter demo, not the form handling for your listing bot demo. Okay. So we're going to do this. And this was called opt-in form. Opt-in form. Cool. So the trigger for this is going to be when they submit a form. So this is your lead form. And I want to do form is lead magnet. Okay. So I got to make this window a little shorter. Do lead magnet, save that. And then the next thing I want to do is when this form is submitted, I want it to create opportunity. Oh, but before we do this, I got to make an opportunity for us. Okay, so I'm going to save this real quick. See, I can get to it from here. Okay, cool. So I need to make the opportunities. So I don't think I have any opportunities in here. So we need to make a new pipeline. So let's make a new pipeline. And this is how you can kind of see how your leads are coming in and if you're converting them or not. We're gonna do something pretty simple here. It's not gonna be super complicated. All right, so I'm gonna make a new pipeline. This pipeline name will be demo lead form, demo opt-in form, demo opt-in. And the first stage name is new lead. The next stage can be appointment scheduled. Because we can also move people in there from if they do a calendar appointment, maybe. And then we want to do a new stage. We can call this one made sale. You can call this whatever you want. It's gonna be very simple. I know we'll do this with appointment schedule. We'll do follow up. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna make a very simple pipeline. 3 columns. Now, when I go back to here and I want to add to work, I want to make an opportunity. I'm going to create and update an opportunity. I want to do it in the pipeline. Oh, I got to refresh this. Sorry. Okay. In the pipeline, and I want to make a new opportunity. In pipeline demo opt-in, I want to put it in the stage new lead. And I'll call the opportunity opt-in form. And the opportunity source is going to be one pager website. That's what I call the website we're creating. So it's a one pager. You just say website. Lead value. So you could put in whatever number you want, but let's say that you know that you close real estate leads at $3,000 a month times 12 months. So theoretically, a lead could be worth $36,000. So I'm going to put in $36,000. And it looks fantastic too on your projections. All right. So the status here, open, and then allow opportunity to move to any previous stage in the pipeline. You could do that or not. This pipeline, I don't think people are going to be moving back, although they might, because you could go to follow up and then appointment book. So I'm going to do that. I don't like to do duplicate opportunities. It's just confusing. You'll have this is not the same thing as your contacts. It uses contacts to make these opportunities. Okay. Now I'm going to save this action. I'm going to publish it. I'm going to hit save, and now we're going to test it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Agent Chatter, and I'm going to try the I want to go back to here and I'm going to also erase my entry. I want to erase myself from the contacts. I don't think that's not me. I don't know who that is. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to delete myself. All right, now when I do this live demo, say my name is Josh, and I'm also going to add a phone number to this. Whatever. Now I try the demo. And if I go back to here into my opportunities, look at that. There's a $36,000 opportunity. Oh, you know what's better? So rather than opt-in form, I want to do this. That was incorrect. I want to do, let's edit this workflow real quick. I prefer the person's name rather than that. So let's do this. So on the opportunity, rather it says opportunity name, I'm going to do contact full name. Okay. Now let's do that again. Okay. So now if I erase myself, I'm also going to add in real quickly on this form here, add in a couple more fields for my lead magnet. So let's also change this to opt-in for naming convention's sake. Opt-in. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to add a couple more here. Oops, sorry. Plus, let's try to get their last name. It'll look nice too. So we can do email down here, and then we'll do phone. Cool. And then let's make phone not required, but the first name and last name are required. If people don't want to give you their name, you don't want to work with them. But I want the form to go through for sure. Cool. So now if I save this, and then when I go back here, try it again. There we go. So now let me make sure I'm out of here. I should have erased myself. Yeah. Okay, cool. So now, whatever, email at whatever, phone number 349 24 da 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 da. Sorry, going too fast. Da da da. Oh, I gotta move this. I'll tweak this in a second, but I gotta move that above the button. Okay, try the free demo. Invalid phone number. Oh, that's cool. 248 da 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 da. Ah, got it. Okay, cool. Try the free demo. And then while I'm here, just because I don't forget, I'm going to go to sites and let me tweak this form for you. This opt-in form here, I need to move this chunk here. Cool, save. All right, now it won't happen again. All right, now when I go back to my opportunity, you'll see that it's my name and the opportunity and where it came from website. Okay, so that is a really simple pipeline that we just hooked up here to our opt-in form coming from our webpage. We've got the BuyingBot demo working. Let's see if it actually schedules an appointment though, okay? Because that is the final test of this BuyingBot demo, so actually scheduled appointment, so our conversation can continue. So I said to Agent Chatter, it asked me, when do you want to sell your home? I said, right away. Why do I want to sell right away? I won the lotto. I won the lottery. Good reason to move, right? All right, so I'm going to tell it I won the lottery. I'm pretty confident it's going to book. And again, this is booking on the Agent Chatter calendar, but it's not a real booking because that's a demo of a buying bot, right? Theoretically, I could have moved the buying bot to be its own demo so that Agent Chatter gets you clients. So maybe we'll do that next week. We'll make a third bot, and we're going to move the buying bot. And I'll show you what I mean when I get to it because I'm just kind of figuring it out in my head. All right, Agent Chatter responded. Wow, that's incredible. Here's funny. So it asks for my name again because I erased my contact, so that's cool. And it says that's incredible news. I won the lottery. So my full name is Josh Rosenfeld. So that's an example of how CloseBot stays on track, which is really nice. It asked me a question in the middle of the conversation, then backed up to fill out the rest of the conversation, the objectives. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes left. I think we got pretty far for today. I do want to see if this books. Nice to meet you, Josh. With such a big change, have you thought about your current home? So it's a little goofy because I was messing with it in the middle of the conversation. So my number is 248-909-935. And obviously, I'm also a contact in in my Agent Chatter account because I did it through the opt-in form. But this is not a super complicated setup we're doing. That could be in the next class. Okay. So we have our opt-in form here. What else is kind of fun? If you want, you can send yourself an internal notification. It's always fun to see when a new lead comes in. So I like to send myself an SMS, but I don't have SMS hooked up. So I'll just send a notification and I'll say new lead. Way to go. You got a new lead. And we know their name. And then a redirect page. And then the user. And I'm the only user in this account. I'll do save action. Oh, wait, redirect page cannot be action. I don't know what that means, but whatever, contact. It doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, cool. So now it'll send me oh, I see. When you click on the link for the internal notification, where does it go? So it's going to go to the contact. So it's going to send an internal notification. Let me just label these better. I always like to label them. Good, well, opt in form submitted. Creator update opportunity is correct. Internal notification is correct. Okay, I'm going to save that. All right, let's go back to the workflows. All right, so now we have a few workflows. I'll erase this so it's less messy. Close this. All right, cool. Let's see. So Agent Chatter got back to me. Thanks for sharing. Before we discuss further, why am I selling? So it's going through the whole flow again, just because, again, we edited it mid-conversation. That's okay. I won the lottery. I'm testing booking right now. So what we could theoretically do is make two calendars, and like a demo calendar booking that books a real appointment with you, and this could be just a dummy calendar that does nothing. We'll probably let's do that actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Agent Chatter account. I want to make a new calendar. I also want to make a note for us that we made a dummy calendar. Buying bot. Dummy calendar. And we're going to make a third bot for getting demo people on our calendar. Okay. All right. So now I want to make a new calendar. And just a very simple calendar. I like to call it dummy calendar. And we'll call it like agent chat, like, doesn't matter what you call it. No one's going to see it, really. And it'll be a 30-minute meeting. You can do real time. This isn't going to be, they're not going to connect this to any calendars, which we haven't done yet, but I'm not going to put a meeting location. Okay, so I'm just going to hit confirm. I need to copy. I'm going to close this. I want to grab it this way. So I got my dummy calendar. I'm going to share it. I need to get the permalink. Remember, I paste it in here. I grab the trailing digits and numeric characters after the last booking /. Copy that. I want to go to my bot, and on my this default bot here is the buying bot, right? So I need to add it to this booking at the end because we're going to have two calendars now, a booking dummy calendar, right? So I'm going to save that here and it works. I'm going to close this. I'm also going to rename this bot. Let's save it real quick. I want to rename this bot to buying bot because that's what this bot is. It's no longer the default Agent Chatter bot now that I have access to unlimited bots. Okay. So let's change this to Agent Chatter buying bot. And I'll have my buying bot's name be Billy the buying bot. No, it should be Sam actually, because that's the name of the contact. Okay, let's make it Sam. Cool. I'm going to save that. Okay. Now I've got a renamed bot for my buying bot. It's all connected. Here is this conversation string just to make sure it's working with the calendar. That's quite the life event, Josh. Win a lottery. When do you want to move? I think every time I'm saving, it's resetting. So I apologize. Let me try this one more time and then we'll end today. I just do want to make sure this works. So this should be working to my dummy calendar. Let me get rid of my contact. And this is testing. We talked about testing is never finished. Testing is never finished. Oh, yeah, I want to do something else too. I want to go to my automation, my opt-in form lead, and let's add a tag to the contact. We'll add a tag, and we'll call it new lead, just for fun. Cool. All right, save that. Okay, now let's do this again. So you're going to see the whole process. So I want to do the demo. Ask me info. And while this is going through, I also want to do one other minor thing. I want to go to the form. I want to change something that it's doing. This is the opt-in form. There's a way I want it to be sticky. I want the where is that here? Options. So if you go to options on the form, let's make sure these are good. So I want it to be a sticky contact, so the name will reappear after they submit it. Enable time zone, cool. All right, save that. So next time it's sticky. I want to do that again. All right, so now if we go back to our workflow, our opportunity, you'll see a new opportunity, me. The other one's gone because I erased the contact. Now we want to test this. So let me blow this out here, delete the chat. And let's see how fast we can do in the next few minutes. Hi. Should ask for my name. Should go through this entire flow here as normal. While we're doing this, are there any questions today? Are there anyone have any questions about what we did today?
Yeah, I just got one quick question.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between a demo and a dummy calendar?
Good question. So a dummy calendar will allow the bot to schedule on a calendar that's not hooked up to your calendar. It's not a real appointment. Okay. And if they're testing your buying bot, if let's say you own Agent Chatter, that's your agency, your client is the realtors, and you're demoing a bot for the realtor, there's no need for them to make a real appointment with you on a demo buying bot. But when you have what we're going to do is we're going to make a bot for this page here that is the Agent Chatter bot that sells Agent Chatter services, and that books on a real calendar to set up a real appointment with you. And what we also will do is when they try the buying bot or the listing bot, when it's done setting the dummy appointment, it's then going to say, wasn't that a cool demo? Do you want to set a real appointment with me to talk about how we can do conversational AI for you? And then that will book on your real calendar. So it's kind of like a self-selling AI demo. How's that sound?
That's awesome.
Okay, cool. Well, that's what you're going to have. All right. So what do they say? Hey, they're going to catch your name. We got to rock through this. Josh Rosenfeld. All right. What else? So we got to do this. So we got to do this form handling, which we will do. We close down, start slowly closing down. Okay. Awesome. Thanks for that, Josh. Let's see. Do you have a sense of how soon? Immediately. I want to get rid of this thing immediately. I got to really throw a curveball at this thing and see what it does. Then the next question. When you're testing, I always recommend really trying to throw it off. Once you kind of have it flows kind of working, the happy path flows working, just really try to throw it off. What's prompting you to sell right away? There was a murder in the house. Sorry, I'm just having fun with this. Now imagine how a real human would have to respond to this, a receptionist or something. So let's see what CloseBot does. Really sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's okay. Fair enough. Are you looking for a quick and easy sale? Yes, I am. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not very compassionate. But that's okay. It's trying to move forward in the conversation. Sometimes when I test, for everyone who's listening, I sometimes move the some of the objectives that I want to test to the front of the objective string just to make it faster. Like I'm testing booking, but I got to go through all this to make sure it works. What's your email address? Okay, Josh at. I want to make sure. I want to see if I get any. I want to see if I actually get an email. The email comes from GoHighLevel, by the way, not from CloseBot. Just so you know, that whole conversational booking takes two to tango. It takes GoHighLevel and CloseBot to talk to each other. And if you're in the group, you may notice that there are sometimes problems with the conversational booking. Feel confident? I was going to ask me to book. Should give me some times. The calendar has unlimited times because it's not hooked up to any other real calendar. So it should give me time starting today. Yep. 1 o'clock. 1 p.m. is great. We're going a couple minutes over. Sorry. Hopefully the next thing will be a The bot letting us know that it's successfully booked. Confirmation. That's not the word I was looking for. Nice. Looking forward to speaking with you then. Boom. All right. We are done for the day, folks. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow, and we will continue on with our marketing material. Thank you very much. Have a great day.